still fucked off the face of the earth.
Yeah, we don't know what Ezra Miller is doing, so he could have kidnapped him, and then escaped. So did you escape?
Yeah, maybe that's what that sudden blur was that just ran by and brought me to another state. I was confused about that. I had to walk all the way home.
Also, welcome to Ace Combat.
Oh, it's just gonna leave all that in.
Yes, that's why I did that the way I did it, so I could put that in there.
Well, fair enough then.
So yeah, there hasn't been an update, so Lord knows what's going on. He's still at large.
You'll never find him.
Posting
you know who
memes.
we will. Yeah, you know who we will find though.
As far as the chaos we find
Genesis.
these days, it's difficult to say.
He's coming back.
They confirmed it.
Well, I'll put it this way: they suddenly re-released Crisis Core out of fucking nowhere when that game's basically about to become pointless anyway.
Uh-oh.
So he's back, probably in POG form too.
He's back.
Maybe he'll be an
Yeah.
NFT for the blockchain.
I fucking hate Genesis.
He's back, but Zach's original VA is not.
He's back.
English or Japanese?
Oh no, of course the Japanese voices are always the same. But
Don't worry, he'll be
in
back.
English they recast everyone, so I think they'll recast it. I mean, they might keep it in the Crisis Core remastered, but in the new game, it's definitely going to be a new one.
Probably.
Which is too bad because Zach's original VA was the cop in Transformers that accused Shia LaBeouf of being on drugs.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That
I was
was
just like, oh,
Peak
that's
of his
Zach.
career.
That was the peak of his career. Yes.
Those were gone.
Hey, everyone likes Zack.
It's like, oh, you got a little mojo here. Is that what the kids are doing, mojo?
No, I think the kids are doing Mako.
Mako.
Well, I can never watch that. Can never watch that scene again. Good thing I never rewatched those movies.
The flow of information
What?
I said good thing I never rewatched those movies.
What movies?
The Transformers movies.
What movies?
Many of the smaller
The ones that miraculously don't feature Carbomia.
None of
Yeah,
them
too
do.
bad. It's too bad. That would significantly improve it.
As for why some of
Imagine
them-
if, like in the second movie, instead of going into the middle of Egypt, they went to Carbomia.
Yeah.
You know,
No idea.
I actually want to confirm something you say, Bo, that I think I confirmed in recording last time. So you said like we were playing this game, like Super Robot Wars T for like 2 years, something like that. You were actually really, I think it was 2 years or very close. Because I looked
Yeah, I
at
thought-
it.
I even heard a rumor that
Yeah, but usually you say that and it's like a month.
No.
rumors.
It had
Oh,
been
yeah.
a really long time.
It never ceased to amaze me.
Since there's not really a whole lot to say apart from the Final Fantasy VII anniversary thing, just being like, yeah, remake 2's coming, piss off now.
Communication
Yeah,
corporate
So
Sonic-
we know Sid's going to be in because they showed a dude mocapping Sid in the behind the scenes stuff, which means Temple of the Ancients is probably the cut-off point.
Wise and forward thinking.
Are you looking forward to Wutai?
Even with their GPS offline.
Wutai's. I actually don't think we'll get Wutai in this one. Wutai will be put in the third game.
Still working perfectly.
There's way too much they have to cram into this one if they are going to end on.
Or they might
Temple of
cram
the
in
Ancients.
more stuff, and then maybe they'll save Wutai for the 8th
But
game.
without a connection.
Well, bearing in mind, Golden Source is probably going to be a more extended sequence.
There should still be enough
That'll be in the 9th game.
before they're activated.
Probably.
Utah will be the DLC.
The data I've acquired away from the
Oh, good. I could just choose to not buy that.
Oh, and I'll be taking the girls too.
Fucking
But
Wutai.
Told my assistant
yeah, the only other thing I know of is
to get me high
Sonic
speed
Origins
ready
came
to
out
go.
and people aren't happy about it. I haven't played it.
Why are people upset about Sonic Origins?
Well, one is because so they couldn't reuse the original music because
I saw a
Michael
plane
Jackson.
flying off in the distance.
Yeah.
But
Even though he's dead.
so-
Even though he is dead and disgraced.
yeah,
Had a gun spin
the I there was probably like they didn't feel like fucking paying for that. But they instead used the like a version of the PC port that was from years ago, but they tried to remake it and the music just sounds not great. And then there's like, that's about the only thing I've really seen people talk about with it. I saw like one bug, but it was kind of funny. If you do a thing, you can speed past the ice cap zone boss and hit the animal capsule and just end the game and end the level like that.
Well, good.
But
I've
also heard like some people like when I was looking at reviews, some people are talking about performance issues, but people on Steam talking about performance issues, sometimes they're like, yeah, my computer is a beast, and then it's like a computer from like 20 years ago. Or they're doing something really stupid. It's happened so many times that I'm just used to it. So I can't really say. I don't really with everything else that I'm spending money on, or like because the Turtles came out, and then tomorrow, as of this recording, the Fire Emblem and the Capcom Fighting Collection come out. So that's a lot of money being dropped, and I really didn't want to spend $45 on the first
Games you
4
already own.
Sonic games. Yeah.
Games you already own.
Like, I'll get it at some point, but, like, not now. Like, on sale, probably. I just can't really justify spending that on games that I already own, already played, even though there's, like, slight differences.
So what games are in Origins?
1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3.
and,
CD?
Yeah. And it's 3 in Knuckles, which is, like, the, one that rarely gets re-released.
Yeah. So it's 4 games, technically 5.
I was like, so that's why Amy Rose is on the cover,
Yes.
Yeah.
because she was in CD.
Yes.
To be fair, CD actually might be the most unreleased of the classic Sonic games.
They had a remake of it a few years ago, where you could play as Tails. So it's been re-released at least one at a time, but out of them, it might be less. No, because there was a CD version on the GameCube that was in one of the collection packs. So I think it's about the same amount, or maybe slightly less or slightly more than 3 in Knuckles specifically. Either way, it's not often re-released. Also, I get to do the first mission of ID tag this bitch before you can fire.
Yes. Oh, you missed Dan Crash like 3 times.
Yes.
It was funny.
It was actually it was twice because I did edit it.
No, I'll take your word for it.
There was an almost crash, but that doesn't count as a crash.
Oh yeah, we got new info on Witch from Mercury.
Yeah, it's its own
yes.
universe.
Yeah. So it's not IBO 2.
Yes.
Ah, too bad.
And it's dealing with like corporations and school shit. Which is interesting. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it.
Trying to think if there was anything else major revealed alongside all of that. Yeah, kind of still no. Still dreading the inevitability of Genesis coming back.
Genesis!
Is Genesis the most fanficky character of all time?
Probably.
It's like, no, he's basically Sephiroth's brother, and also he has the same powers as Sephiroth. But he's also, like, all he does is quote.
And also, he looks just like Gak.
And also, he quotes this poem that's actually really deep and meaningful. Is it? Well, the parts we get to hear are all really deep and meaningful. But also, no one understands this poem apparently, because only Genesis does, because he's just the best. Fucking hate Genesis.
Oh, is that like the love? Is that like the Loveless thing?
Yeah, in universe apparently like nobody knows what it's actually meant to mean, which feels
until Genesis. The only thing we knew about Loveless was that it was like a play in Midgar.
Yeah, it was like one poster
that like Sid saw once and he fell asleep, and that's literally all we know about it.
And then it gets turned into this whole fucking plot point for Genesis. Also, we can find out how did Zack get a huge ass sword. It's like, oh, he didn't. He has like one scene in the game. Turns out that iconic weapon, nah, it's from some other random schmuck who Cloud couldn't even be asked to forget. Ugh. Oh, no, Crisis Core was a good game, but it definitely had it's like, you know, when you get those like movies prequels or whatever where they're like, we need to explain everything or give it this like so to, you know, why is Han Solo called Han Solo? Why does he have this jacket? Why does he have this particular blaster? It's like,
you know what? That's actually something I was thinking about. I would never want them to make another Roger Rabbit movie because A, it would be bad, and B, they would try to explain how the Toons exist. And I think it's better that we don't know. You don't need to explain everything.
Or worse, they'll just reveal that Roger is the villain from 30 years in the future. Oh shit, have you guys heard about Lightyear, by the way?
I heard it's very mid.
I heard it made no money.
Well, yeah,
so
that's it.
Who cares?
Did not.
But did you hear about
it lost out to Top Gun in like its 4th weekend.
Did you hear about the plot twist for it though?
No.
Oh, do you care about spoilers?
No, don't tell me.
Nope.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Zurg in this universe is Buzz from the past, because the Buzz in the movie goes forward in the future, and then he meets Zurg, who's him, but evil. And I'm like, man, I was like, your Star Command did evil Buzz way better than this, from what I understand.
I mean, Star Command in
Well, they
general did
did.
better, and the only reason they don't recognize it and they don't even put it on the streaming services is because one of the guys at Pixar fucking doesn't like that show.
Oh, is that why?
Yes!
Man, Pixar, you used to be cool. What happened?
They got up their own ass?
I remember when Pixar made good movies.
No, it's been a long time. The old age has made my memory kind of shit.
I wonder did Cars kill Pixar?
In my heart.
Because Cars feels like it was the first one where it was like the oh yeah, this one's bad, and then for some reason that got like 4 million sequels.
Because it the merchandise sold well, that's why.
Yeah, that's why it's like Cars, because they're like
Little
Matchbox
kids
cars.
love it, or at least love the merchandise. It's a giant merchandising vehicle.
Oh,
I thought Cars was okay, but I didn't think it needed like a million sequels. Also,
So
kids liked it. Also, kids liked it because they liked Mater because they'd never heard of Larry the Cable Guy before. So they were just like, "Oh, this is genius."
wow! I don't think I've ever actually seen Cars, but I have no incentive to watch it.
It's all right. It's like a standard movie for its time. There's some celebrities in it.
It's
Good.
very
Main character learns not to be a jerk. Paul Newman's in it.
It's a very not bad, just a very middling film. Like, you could watch better, and you could definitely watch worse.
I just think Cars seems to be the first one where people are like, okay, this is an instant classic, beloved family movie. And then all the ones I've seen after that, and then like, you know, you had Up, everyone likes Up. I don't dislike Up, I think it's a good movie. I think Up is made by like the first sequence. And you could
Yes.
probably just cut. And you could have just cut that off, and then you would have had a perfect movie. And then
I
the
mean, you
rest
could have, but the actual rest of the movie is pretty good too.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm not actually trying to dismiss Up. I was
It's a
just
good
saying,
meme,
like,
just cutting that bit out, like cutting that bit of him,
Yeah.
like blowing this house up, and being like, "Fuck y'all!" That's so good.
yeah.
It's a mood, honestly.
But then, yeah, everything else has been kind of very hit and miss from what I've seen.
Speaking of like Disney adjacent stuff, I do have another one that's flopping.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, of all of the shows that they put out for it, for Marvel, Miss Marvel is flatlining. It's doing really bad.
People aren't liking it.
I'm not surprised because they didn't really want to do it based on the comic shit, which people liked. So the people that like the character are bored and don't want to watch it, and then the actual content is very not good.
Like apparently it took 2 episodes for her to like really do anything super heroic, and the rest of it was just like Muslim family stuff.
What's really funny is I saw like a post before it came out where there was like some guy who was trying to say like, hey, Miss Marvel's not for you white people. Don't watch this. And then today I saw a thing where the same guy was blaming white people for it bombing because they're not watching it, and I'm just like, what?
Well, you told us not to watch it, so we didn't.
Also, I haven't watched any of the Marvel Disney shows yet.
I mean, the only reason I didn't watch it was because, so I am a Miss Marvel fan. I'm like, this isn't Miss Marvel.
I was gonna say that's
It's
actually
damn-
not
Yeah,
And you know what's the saddest part about it all is the actress who's playing her is a massive fan of the character. It's another one of those where the actress knows the character, but can't
actress
play
knows
the
character
character.
is wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she did when she was little, or when she was younger, because she is fucking young. She like had like she dressed up as her for Halloween and shit, and like it's really cool. It's a shame that, like what happened with the Bulma actress in Dragon Ball, they're in a terrible script. You know?
Well, yeah.
Like, God, that would suck. Like, if I got to play, like, a dream role, and then that's the shit they passed me, oh, I would be fucking upset. I mean, yeah, I have a nice paycheck, though.
The biggest problem is she's not an Inhuman because Inhumans bombed and they're trying to forget all about all of that.
Yeah.
So she came out at a very unfortunate time.
And also,
Because
They
she
might as
came
well
out-
just
she
fucking
came
make
out
her...
when they-
They might as well just make her a fucking mutant, honestly.
well, we're still not using the M word.
Not yet.
No, but we're not using the Inhumans either.
Yeah, kind of. We're definitely not using the Fantastic Four. Although, allegedly, I did see an article of someone saying they were looking for a director like Sam Raimi to do the Fantastic Four, and it's like, why don't you just get Sam Raimi?
So it's
But,
like so no stretchy powers, no Inhuman, any of that. So it's like,
And
what's-
definitely no...
and she's a fan of Captain Marvel, who has been on Earth for like a couple minutes at best.
Yeah, because...
yeah.
She's like she's a fan of Captain Marvel because she took out Thanos' ship in Endgame, and that was really all people saw her do.
It makes no sense in the context of that universe. It makes sense in the original, and like the comic books, even if I fucking don't care for her.
Yeah, because at least she's been around for years and years and years, and was a decent hero at one point.
And not everyone knows she's a fascist.
Exactly, including her actually in the comics. Not even kidding. That was a whole thing where she had to learn that Carol was a fucking fascist and
Oh, I thought
separated
you were-
herself from her.
Oh, I thought you were implying a thing of like Carol doing like the the Nazi soldier skit of "Are we the baddies?"
Nah,
We ever seen a film, Tony? Well, it's just we do have skulls on our uniforms now. Pirates have skulls on their uniforms. Pirates are fun. I didn't say we're not fun.
nor did I say we weren't snazzy.
But yeah, that is part of the problem of doing a Miss Marvel thing, is that because Captain Marvel is such a non-entity, despite
How much they wanted her to be an entity.
which feels weird because it was definitely that we want Captain Marvel to be a thing, and then they just did nothing to actually make that a thing.
Like, they like half-assed tried and then they immediately gave up.
Nah, it's too hard. Although Brie Larson might have partly been a problem.
Oh, Brie Larson did not help with that, no.
So, I mean, I guess the benefit is she's not kidnapped anyone yet.
Yet.
Look, I think this whole thing with Ezra Miller has definitely put us in the position where every celebrity now has to be treated with the, until you like prove yourself beyond like the shadow of, beyond like reproach. You must be treated like you're definitely going to wind up disgraced at some point. It's like the Ezra Miller thing's so ridiculous and farcical. That like we just live in that's just the world we live in now.
And these are the hands that we're given.
I almost said the S word. You really thought Jared Leto would be like the first sort of like comic book actor to snap?
No, he's just an asshole.
He's fine. Yeah, he's a jerk.
Like, he's an asshole, that's about it. He's just a garden variety asshole.
He's a snob and he's a jerk. He didn't kidnap anyone, do anything illegal.
Well, yeah, I
That
can
we know.
fucking dislike him, but I can't. But he
Yet.
hasn't kidnapped anybody yet.
Yet.
I mean, I'm waiting for him to just go crazy and just like start showing up at people's houses and being like, "You got more," because
Oh, yeah, more. Fuck. Oh,
Because-
yes. Speaking
because
of more,
that was all the movie gave us was memes. He's gonna be like, "I guess I'll embrace it."
did you see what has come out of that? What the next movie plan is for Sony's?
Morbius 2, it's Morbin time.
It's Craven.
Yeah, they're gonna try Craven now.
Oh, that can.
I thought they were trying that Mexican guy who was like only.
Oh, they are also trying that. I forgot.
Yeah, they are doing that.
The guy
but,
who was in 2 comic books total, I think.
It's just. Are people this dumb?
Yes.
Who like. How are people that like run multi-billion-dollar businesses this dumb? Are they that out of touch with
Yes.
everything?
Yes.
Because, alright,
How
here's
does
the
one
problem.
survive?
Because here's the problem, right? Pre-production on most of these movies probably started actually way before Morbius had even actually wrapped up filming. So the problem, and they were all working on actually probably even started before Venom 2 had come out. So they were all working on the basis that hey, Venom made money, so there is potential here for a market. And of course, I mean, Venom made money because Venom, at the end of the day,
It's Venom.
is a character people will recognize. Morbius is D-list at best.
Morbius is a character that we joke about how bad he is. Kind of like Moon Knight, where we joked about how bad Moon Knight is.
And yeah,
I don't know if Moon Knight did well or not, though. I didn't really pay attention.
It did.
Okay.
not me, but I saw lots of posting about it. So
Well,
I
Moon
guess
Knight did have one thing where he had established memes already.
yeah,
So he was at
the
least
fact, the fact that
semi-known.
he's a nut, the fact that he's a nut job psychopath, people apparently thought was hilarious. So
Yeah,
because
that is him.
because they were so used to like all these like heroic characters. They're like, he's a Batman, but he's crazy, and they're like, that's cool. Okay.
crazy.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh, I forgot what we were talking about. We got distracted by Moon Knight.
We were talking about basically the flops and stuff with like Miss Marvel and all that. And then we
Oh,
kinda went on a
right.
tangent, Yeah.
Sony. Oh, right.
And that was
yeah,
pretty.
Sony.
Yeah. So that's where we were.
So yeah, now they're gonna do Craven. And it's like, oh, what's Craven's like? Let's be honest. The main thing for Craven that's the only reason people like him is probably Craven's Last Hunt. And I mean,
Yeah.
they can't exactly do Craven's Last Hunt without Spider-Man.
Craven was fun in the Squirrel Girl comic.
I'm sure Craven can be alright, but he is, once again, he is the problem of being a C-list villain that also doesn't have a hero to fight against because we're not allowed to use his
I want to cut for like 1 second. So it's the part where the princess's plane goes by. I remember when I first did this, my brain like turned off and I immediately shot them down.
It's not the princesses on it, Mihai's granddaughters, and also DC Douglas.
Yeah,
So-
like a dummy, I immediately shot it down the first time I played
What
this.
a monster! You killed DC Douglas.
I killed Wesker again.
Killed Valimar, you bastard. And everyone's new favorite, Rufus.
Dr. Schroeder, aka the man responsible for all this bullshit.
Yeah, but if we're gonna blame people just because they're responsible, then we'll never get anywhere in life.
Oh, if it wasn't for the fact that shooting you down would fail this, I'd do it as a gag, but I already died like so many times in the last video. Ooh.
But, so yeah, we are getting Craven.
Oh, they got shot down.
Whoops.
Wasn't me! Wasn't me!
Yeah, alright. I believe you. I don't
You
believe
can't prove anything.
Bosh, you killed a child! Amazing! Mission complete! Now, I actually was thinking about MGS5 again today. Mostly I was thinking, what a terrible idea recasting Snake was.
Yeah?
Just the worst.
At least Kojima got it out of his system.
No.
No, because now every game he makes will just be the what celebrities can I con into saying stupid shit for me.
No, because Kojima actually believes his own bullshit. He'd be like, what can I have an actor say that's very profound?
Very profound. Indeed.
I do know
Because he
really
sniffs his own farts now, so...
I know he saw Maverick like 3 times, so we'll see if he can try and
Suddenly-
wrangle Tom.
He's
We'll
gonna
see
get
if-
Tom Cruise. Yeah, good luck with that.
God, what a match made. What a match made in hell that would be. Tom Cruise, batshit insanity mixed with Kojima's,
Pretentiousness.
well.
I just remember
batshit-
when Metal Gear came out and he wanted Kurt Russell to voice Snake, and everyone just laughed at him.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Like
this-
what?
yeah,
like
this-
our options right now are the guys from Mega Man X4. That's the level of talent we usually have for voiceovers in video games. So that's what you got to work with.
Hey, he got an actor to play Snake.
Because David Hayter was an actor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's-
know. Yeah, but that in itself was a small miracle because Metal Gear Solid was the first game that actually
Like,
had a decent
He had
English voice track.
He had enough pull back, still, like when they were doing Twin Snakes and shit, that to get the entire cast, the guy was like, I'll take a pay cut so you can get everybody back. For fuck's sake, we need everybody back.
Wasn't he also working on the script for X-Men at the time of
Yes.
voicing
He
MGS?
was, yes.
Yes.
Because I always like to remind people that hey, he wrote the 2 best X-Men movies,
And he was in one of the Guyver movies.
and he didn't even write the worst line of X-Men 1. That was Joss Whedon. It's the frog being struck by lightning. That's a Joss Whedon line.
Apparently that was supposed to be like a running gag where Toad was constantly like, what happens to a Toad when he does this? Except they decided that they'd rather just have Ray Park not saying anything for the most part.
Well, maybe if he hadn't got his dick out.
So that was supposed to be a callback to like
Isn't that why they not? Sorry.
no, that was supposed to be a callback to all of his lines in the movie about talking about what happens to toads when they do this. He was like, what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? Oh, got you. But instead, they decided, let's just have Ray Park not say anything.
Instead, it just sounds like Storm's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, isn't that the main reason why they've not done Darth Maul and Obi-Wan? Because Ray Park got his dick out on something.
I don't know.
Even though
I'm pretty sure they can have somebody else to cast him. Nobody would know.
you'd think so, especially since Ray Park didn't even voice him. It's Pete
I
Sarakis.
was like,
It
Ray
was-
Park didn't say anything, and like he's entirely in makeup.
No, he literally didn't say anything because the few times Maul does speak, it's Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about when he was talking to Lucas and he was asking about what's his motivation because he wanted to get the feel of the voice for the character?
Yeah.
And Lucas was
Just
just
say-
like, "You're evil." And then walked off.
Yeah, you're evil. You like being evil and hurting people. Why?
I love the Lucas is just the worst kind of director.
Yeah.
Big-
Just just makes the whole fact that he made $1 billion franchise even more impressive.
Completely by fucking accident.
Well, aren't most things in life accomplished by accident?
Yes, most franchises are complete accidents, and most people that go into them thinking this is going to be $1 billion franchise and I'm going to be a genius for making this are usually wrong.
Well, most people are stupid.
Even when they were making Avengers, they were like, this could go terribly wrong.
Yeah, this could be the biggest flop of all time. And then Disney bought it at literally the right moment.
Yeah.
Like, if Disney hadn't acquired Marvel pretty much when it did, I think they would have never been able to touch Marvel.
Yeah.
Or at least they would have had to pay out the wazoo to get the characters.
Probably.
Because they were rising, but they were still, like, on the cheaper side.
Well, it's also like Iron Man and Hulk had come out, Thor was in production, like Thor and Cap were in production, but they were being done by Paramount. Like Avengers was the first movie that was fully under like the Disney brand, but obviously all the grunt work had been done by like Paramount and Universal, etc.
Yeah.
So by the time so literally as they purchase it, they get Avengers, which was one of the biggest movies of it at the time.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad we did this escort mission. I'm sure everything will be fine, and you know they won't just explode in 2 seconds and make the entire mission feel pointless.
Fun fact: did you know the first Ninja Turtles movie was at the time the highest-grossing independent movie?
Yes.
Which is odd to think that Ninja Turtles was an independent movie. But I think it's also weirder to remember the 2003 Ninja Turtle show has Dean Venture as the voice of Leonardo.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, shit, speaking of, Patrick Warburton actually did an interview recently where he talked a bit about the movie, the Venture Bros movie that's coming out. He said that they've finished recording it, so
Oh, and Labarth is dead.
that's good.
What did you say?
I really want resolution to this lovable cast of morons.
I mean, I know it was chaos, but still.
Yep, there it is. He just explodes.
The sealed order
I hate when that happens.
Don't you love escort missions where they escort and mission ends up being pointless?
Yeah, it's like in Metal Gear 2 when you have to go crazy trying to escort Emmett to the thing and then she gets killed anyway.
And she's also annoying too, which makes it funnier.
Then Vamp just stabs a bitch. Fucking runs over the water to shank her. Ugh. It's too hot today. Fuck the sun.
There's no sun here, it's overcast.
Yeah, it's been like rainy and overcast
The
here.
sun is always there, watching, waiting. When you least expect it, it suddenly shows up and bam, it's hot.
When you least expect it, it suddenly gets an angry face and starts chasing you through the desert.
That
The comms were still down.
scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid.
The last
Aha.
information I heard before everything
The older I
crashed
get, the more I
was that
sympathise with
some
Mr. Burns and
prisoners
his
from an
hatred of
ancient
the
military
sun.
unit
Yeah, we
were
talked about this last week because it was hot as fuck in both where you were and where I was.
And now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right.
Oh,
I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around.
Well,
but yeah.
Abby Trott is
Hearing
now
the
monologuing.
Ocean
So this will
firing
be a
at each
bit
other overhead chipped away at morale.
trash queen.
Since the radio was
her
off, it was
VAs.
quiet. I liked it better that way.
Yeah.
All I heard was the gunfire.
And
Here we were, walking around carrying
I don't think there was
rifles.
oh yeah,
anything
Saber.
particularly funny lately. You go though. Your thing with Sabo first. And I'll see if,
Oh, I
I,
was just
see if I
We know
remember.
things look desperate when the guards think
Uh,
it's to lock us into solitary,
I was just gonna
and
ask
now
if he
telling us
was
it's better we
like
all
someone
stick
asked me
together.
yesterday. How long do you think until
I guess
Xehanort
they
comes
think
back
the
for
odds of
in
surviving
Kingdom
this
Hearts
war
4?
are better that way.
The prologue.
Yeah.
After walking for miles across the
I still like-
Actually, no, probably one of the trailers.
Passenger, not military.
Thanks to time travel, we can have as many Xehanorts as we want.
Woo!
It was an illusion liaison.
Everyone can be Xehanort.
Took off.
Can't wait for the reveal that the Master of Masters is also Xehanort, has been all along.
I still like
He
when
just double forgot.
Today,
I still like when I was like, because the more I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want, I kind of don't like doing the Final Fantasy characters in the games. And all I said was like, yeah, I kind of like the, you know, the batshit insanity of like Cloud talking to Donald Duck. So they kind of just don't do the Final Fantasy characters. I don't really have any interest in it anymore.
I
I had,
don't think.
hold on, I'm not done. And that's all I said. Was like, hey, if they do that, I'm probably gonna check out because you know that's kind of what I enjoy. And I immediately had a Kingdom Hearts fan like descend upon me, like, it's a little early to check out if that happens.
I thought everyone felt the same.
I mean, I don't think that was a Nomura decision. I think, much like a lot of things in Kingdom Hearts 3, it was the Disney decides they're going to play hardball with shit.
No,
Like,
no, it really wasn't them this time. It was him. Because remember, Disney was also the biggest. Disney was not the biggest hurdle for Sora in Smash. It was him.
Now there's no one left to protect me.
Yeah, apparently it was him.
I am
Disney was apparently like, yeah, I want to do it, and then Nomura's like, but how do I make it canon?
I watch as one of their dogs approaches.
They literally had to tell him, you don't. It doesn't fucking matter.
I wonder if it
Yeah, it's
They
like
had to
sort-
convince him that it doesn't matter. Sora could just be there. It doesn't have to be canon. He could be there slapping Mario's face.
Everything must be canon.
We don't know who these soldiers
but then the Toy Story people say that about Toy Story World and King
They
Hearts.
did. They're
Yeah, they
they're
did.
like they can only be in if it's canon somehow.
Yeah.
They're toys.
Muster the courage to answer the woman's
It didn't even have to
Oh
be
yeah, so I
Andy's
think
toys.
I mean
Someone else could have a Woody and a Buzz doll.
they are also stupid because they make
Gather
Toy
around
Story
and looks
4.
on their faces.
Oh well.
What would they do
I
if
mean,
they knew
I
what
was even
was
talking to
inside
someone,
us?
funnily enough, about Toy Story earlier because I recently rewatched Toy Story 1 and 2, and it's like, yeah, they're great.
After
And
searching the cockpit
I
of the
Toy Story 3 is a
plane,
film that
one of
at the
these
time I
people came back
liked,
to me.
but it was mostly of the,
This is an
yeah, if
aircraft.
this is an ending, I think this is fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my favourite, but as an ending, it's cool. But then just by virtue of Toy Story 4 existing, which I still haven't
She
seen,
knelt
by
down
the way,
next to me and
but why
asked
would
me
I
if
see
it
it?
means to give me some food.
But yeah, because Toy Story 4 exists, it
Very
ruins
simple,
Toy Story
she
3.
said.
Yeah.
See.
It's kind of like how Star Wars Episodes 7, 8, and 9, regardless of anything else, by virtue of existing, ruin Episode 6.
Yeah.
Just what did you see here?
You have to make something that like so like if you want to have Empire, sure. You could just do like what the fucking, the thing you deleted did where you just had remnants fucking around and having like little vestiges of power and shit that you had to deal with.
Here's a fucking idea.
Okay, enough talk.
Why don't you just don't have it just be straight up the Empire? Why don't you just do like, I don't know, a completely different kind of conflict?
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
hey-
no, you can do that. I'm just saying, if you are so obsessed with having the fucking stormtrooper, because that's what they want, you just do that.
Look, we couldn't possibly keep the old EU because we didn't want to have to deal with Clone Palpatine. Anyway, meanwhile, in Episode 9, Clone Palpatine.
Yeah, but I don't think they really wanted to do Clone Palpatine. I think they were basically forced into that by Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson because he got rid of everything.
It's like,
He,
oh,
he killed off Snoke anticlimactically and basically ruined everything Seven tried to set up because it would be unexpected. And then they're like, okay, but you have to do another movie, remember? And he's like, I don't care, that's your problem. And that's why he's not getting. And that's why he's not getting his own trilogy.
yeah, well, all of those Star Wars trilogies that they were going to do seem to have petered off.
Yeah.
Thanks to Game of Thrones idiots, they lost their trilogy. Oh god, they're doing a sequel series about Jon Snow.
Yeah. Or is it a
It's just-
prequel?
No, it's a sequel.
Ah.
There's no prequel to Jon Snow, otherwise he's just some stupid kid who hangs around a castle and everyone hates because he's a bastard.
Yeah, but they would still do something that stupid.
Mm.
I mean, they'll do something as stupid as a Jon Snow sequel.
I mean, the sequel is, yeah, he wanders the wilderness. That's it. It's kind of like doing a show about a man who just spent 20 years living in the fucking desert. Wait.
Hey, this looks a lot like The Witcher. Shut up!
But he wasn't just living in the desert. It turns out he had a whole adventure beforehand.
Yeah, and then he met Darth Vader, so when Vader was like, a presence I've not felt since, he means last week.
Well, 10 years ago, but you know. No, not only that, he meets Darth Vader and they fight, and Darth Vader's like, Anakin is dead. I killed him,
Oh,
and that's
just,
why, and that's why Obi-Wan is like, well,
you're,
certain point of view. That's what he told me.
he betrayed your. It's not at all because we hastily rewrote this plot point.
Nope, not at all!
It's not at all because Star Wars was originally a rip-off of Hidden Fortress.
Nope, nope, nope!
It's like how he goes on this whole adventure with the young Leia, and then at the end he's like, I'll come to help you if you need me, but you have to make sure that you have to pretend that you don't know me because no one can know our connection, or else Palpatine might find out. And that's why in the first movie she acts like she's never met him before.
I mean, this show just sounds like a terrible idea of like trying to retcon in stuff that.
It is. The whole thing is them trying to like basically every random inconsistency
has to
between Obi-Wan in Episode 4 and like the prequel trilogy. They try to explain in the show by like it's like
No,
he's like,
just
he fights Darth Vader and. Vader tells him that Anakin is dead and he killed him, and that's why Obi-Wan. And then it's like, and he meets Princess Leia, and he tells her to pretend she doesn't know him if they ever meet in the future. And he meets Luke, and he's like, "Oh, my name is Ben."
I mean, at least the Ben thing could just be he decided to not call himself Obi-Wan because maybe people might know about famous General Kenobi. But if he's just Ben Kenobi, well, that could be anyone. He could be of like the New Hampshire.
And at the end, he finally runs into Qui-Gon's ghost, and he's like, "I've been trying to talk to you for the last 10 years, but you weren't ready to hear." And then they go off to do whatever.
And he should have been like, "Why the fuck did you make me train this little shit who just killed our entire order? You cunt."
And Qui-Gon just shrugs.
I'm glad you died. No, but he's the chosen one, you see.
The chosen one of what, you fuck? To kill us all.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Oh yeah, you never asked me what... I think he was a chosen one, but you never asked me what he was a chosen one of. Okay, what was it? To kill us all! Idiots!
No one ever said Qui-Gon was a smart man.
Also, in their duel, Obi-Wan actually wrecks Darth Vader's suit worse to, I guess, explain why he's not jumping and flipping around and doing all that fancy stuff in the original trilogy anymore.
I was gonna ask, why didn't Obi-Wan like wreck Darth Vader in this suit? Because, I mean, Obi-Wan doesn't look like Obi-Wan looks more like he's, like 40 years old instead of 70 years old.
I like how every time they bring up Darth Vader outside the original trilogy, they just make Darth Vader worse.
Well, in Obi-Wan, Darth Vader's still pretty he's pretty mobile. And,
no. You don't understand. You don't understand what I mean. I'm talking about in terms of his presence and his threat and what he is.
Because the more you see of a character, bearing in mind, even in the original, he's barely does anything the majority of it all, and then he only has the lightsaber fight, which is whatever. And then the stuff in the ship, which happens. But other than that, Vader isn't some big omnipresent thing. He's not doing much. And the more you show him off, the more you do with him, it's the more you kind of diminish his presence and attitude and everything.
Then usually they make him just worse because they can't let him do things.
Because, if he gets, you already know pretty much his entire life. So you can't do anything big or dramatic, so it just has to be stuff that fits into this narrow field of view of, well, he was just kind of hanging around doing fuck all for 20 years until Jedi showed up again.
Well, so the Obi-Wan series says that for 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, he was trying to find Obi-Wan because he had a feeling he was still, he knew he was still alive because,
he chopped his legs off and fucked off.
He chopped his legs off and walked away, so he knew he was still alive, and, but he won't go to Tatooine because it's too painful there.
Idiot.
So eventually he does something that lures Obi-Wan off world, and then they fight, and they have this big fight scene where Vader runs around and throws rocks and makes earthquakes with the Force, and then Obi-Wan slashes up his suit and damages it, and then he just kind of leaves. And
Why don't you just kill him? It's it's twice now. You could have fucking killed him, Obi-Wan.
Because he breaks half his helmet open and he sees his face and he's just "Oh, I can't do it. I'm sorry, Anakin." He's Anakin's dead. He's well then my friend is truly gone. Goodbye, Darth. And then he just walks away.
Also, he killed literal fucking children.
No, younglings. There's younglings.
He kills another kid in this one too.
I don't know what I'm going to do today. Oh, look, a child.
I just saw a kid today. I saw a dead kid today.
Oh, that reminds me of my dead kid.
So Vader gets his suit fixed, and Palpatine basically tells him to forget all about Obi-Wan.
Yes, don't think of your former master unless he shows up again in 10 years or something.
Come on.
Palpatine's basically forget about Obi-Wan. He's one guy. He's powerless against us.
You know what would be really crazy? If he came back in 10, 15 years, and trained up your son, and then they try to kill us. That would be crazy. That
Well,
won't happen. though.
they managed to keep the fact that his kids survived a secret, even in the Obi-Wan thing. I guess to keep the everything, because like Vader almost finds out that Leia is his daughter, but like they managed to convince him he's not.
No, you murdered your wife. Remember, Vader? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you choked your wife? Remember?
Nander?
Remember?
Nander?
Remember when Dr. Ball MD prescribed or talked about the scientific impossibility of her dying of a broken heart? Oh, I guess you weren't there for that. Well, where were you? Oh, right, your legs have fallen off.
The funny thing is, I think George Lucas later said that like, oh no, she didn't die of a broken heart. She died because Anakin choked her. The droids were just dumb.
It's not what the doctors said.
Yeah, it's like the doctors were just dumb. Actually, she died because Vader choked her.
Yeah,
It
well.
just took a long time for her to asphyxiate.
Yeah, well, until I'm not going to believe anything Lucas says until he writes something where Obi-Wan is like, do what you need to and bring her fast, Anakin. Obi pump and dump Kenobi himself. Remember, that's canon. Jedi can't fall in love, but they can fuck.
Yes.
They can to get it out of their system.
I love to go to the nightclub, Anakin, and just fuck the first slut I see.
So the real
Remember when Obi-Wan just walks to this diner and talks to this weird guy with multiple arms?
He's worse than that, he hugs him.
Oh yes.
Because they're old friends.
They're old friends. Apparently there's just a space diner sitting around Coruscant.
In space, it's weirdly based off of 50s America. Almost like George Lucas is really nostalgic for 1950s America. But no, that'd be ridiculous.
I mean, many people from that generation are.
I mean specifically because he made American Graffiti, which was his like first major actual success, which is all about being a teenage, like growing up in 50s America, and then he made Kingdom of the Crystal Skull set in the 50s.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
And probably some other stuff I'm not remembering.
Take out all bombers. They'll flatten our
Oh man, yeah, there is going to be a new Indiana Jones, isn't there?
I mean, they've been trying to get it out for years, so I don't
With
know.
90-year-old Harrison Ford. I thought they'd finished filming. But anyway, Star Wars is dumb and stupid, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it is very dumb and stupid. I mean, I like a number of dumb and stupid things. Like, I like Dragon Ball, I like Gundam.
It's not the right kind of dumb and stupid, though. You know what it is? It's not dumb and stupid. It's stupid and dumb. There is a difference.
Go on.
Oh. Well, if it's dumb and stupid, then it's like, it's, you know, it's dumb in the sense of it doesn't take itself too seriously, it's just there to have fun. And but if it's stupid and dumb, then it's just, it has a basis of being made by people who either don't know or don't care to know about what they're doing. So it just feels like it's coming from a place of incompetence instead of amusement. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Never mind that by next time I mention this I probably won't remember which way around I said it.
Don't worry, I'll forget to.
Exactly. And I'm not going to check the tapes.
Like, I literally have already forgotten because I'm too busy trying to shoot down these bombers. Oh, okay, so I can crash into them in this game.
Man,
The other jets you don't smash into and die, so I was just like, what happens if I
So,
smash into this? You die.
Apparently, the new mayor of Tokyo is somebody who lives in Belgium.
huh.
Interesting.
How'd he get that vote?
Take out any hostiles in their area.
Apparently, the opponent was just that bad.
Is it like is it a Japanese man who lives in Belgium, or is it just like some random?
No, it's a Japanese woman. But she lives in Belgium.
Huh. Surprised she wouldn't run to be mayor of.
Yeah, she traveled back and forth campaigning, and she won.
So now she does. I assume she has to like fully commit to living in Tokyo.
I mean, I would think so.
But yes, her win was a huge shock, despite her opposition taking constant jabs at her residency. Her progressive agenda, choosing less privatization and more citizen participation, has made an impression on voters.
Damn, feels bad to lose to someone who's not even there.
Yeah. Someone's like, imagine if you were running for mayor of your city in Arizona and you lose to somebody who moved to Pakistan 12 years ago and has been having campaign events through Zoom.
Nah, I
Time
mean,
to just give up after that.
I can believe that there are some mayors in America who are horrible.
It's true.
Definitely people who would like, exile your spots to space because of a dubious video. I'm just saying.
It's true. It's okay. The Autobots will make us pay.
No, humanity had to learn its lesson. Dan.
Yes, yes.
That's why
Except they
Chicago's in ruins.
Yes.
Except humanity did learn its lesson because
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years later they just started killing all Transformers and melting them down for scrap.
Honestly,
No.
to be fair, after what they let happen in Chicago, I'd probably do the same. Be like, all right, yeah, you're right. I did learn my lesson. Fuck you.
Also,
Actually one of the guys there is like his whole thing is like they killed us. They massacred us in Chicago. All aliens deserve to get killed.
Honestly, he's got a point. Like, I'll teach him a lesson. Hey, Optimus, what if instead they just get really mad and just start killing us?
Oh, then he already has the solution to that problem.
Kill them.
He just sings the Spine song.
Yes.
Spine. I am skipping with your spine.
That's how you get transmographies.
That's how he gets. Transformographer he just sings the Spine song and everyone.
Oreobot, no!
I mentioned last week, I think, that a friend of mine linked me a video that was an actually serious 10 ways to improve RE4 in the remake, and from what he described, I was like, man, the Transmographer one feels so much actually legitimately better. It feels bad when the joke parody one is like yeah, like these would be improvements, and the real thing is like shit. Like no, we need a Krauser DLC actually. We need more story to learn about Krauser, Dan.
Just proving my point that everybody who says RE4 is the best one is just wrong, stupid, and wrong.
No, it's that they want more Krauser.
No.
What's Krauser? We need more Krauser.
I gotta have more Krauser!
What is life if there is no more Krauser? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'd be really sad that G.I. Joe guy just wasn't in the game that much. I still say, what makes Resident Evil 4 work in terms of how terrible it's written, or terrible the story is that it works best because it feels like an Asylum film, where they're like, what if we made a James Bond, like, monster movie?
Fair.
It's genius.
I don't know, RE4 at least has more budget.
I mean, I guess.
Oh well. Yeah, all of that to say, Transmographer still good. Man, how much more of the mission is left? Curiosity, where are you at?
Well, I died, so I gotta redo the part and wait for the bombers to show up again. Oh, here they are. Speak of the devil.
Oh yeah, Dan, do you remember that? Oh, Sabo as well. Do you remember that time in the clone during Ben Reilly's tenure as Spider-Man? That way they did fucking Toy Story, where they did he just fights a bunch of toys and it's just straight up fucking actual characters or actual copyrighted characters. Literally fucking knocking out Pinky and the Brain.
Trap, right?
I deleted that memory.
Oh, why would you? That was a great comic.
try to forget. I try to forget all about Ben Riley.
Oh, I miss Ben. I like Ben overall. And then it's just one of these powers is just straight up a Ninja Turtle. Well, this powder is Pinky in the brain and Godzilla's tail, and that is just straight up Godzilla because he's in a different panel. And then this one, it's like not even fucking trying to hide what these toys are. Nah. Oh right, and he does fight a fucking Wolverine toy. Like actually just straight up, yeah, it's a Wolverine action figure.
I mean, it's Marvel. They could probably get away with that.
Oh, they can get away with that one, but that one there's straight up a Ninja Turtle and a Xenomorph. Like, there's no argument about that. Like, how is that not a Xeno?
Fuck. There we go. That's one less bomber.
Only half the bombers remain. We can't let even one get away.
Oh,
Come on.
I believe in you.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time.
Oh hey, I finally found the image I was actually scrolling up for. This one's just for Dan though.
Ah, goddamn! I got shot down.
Oh,
It's another one of these missions.
Hopefully the checkpoint's not too far.
No, it's far. It's fucking annoying.
Oh.
It's the fucking one with the bombers, where you gotta wait for the bombers to spawn. But if you die, you have to fuck around for a while, and then they show up. It's so fucking annoying. I remember I had this problem when I first played this mission too.
Oh yeah, Saber, we got a Ruby update yet?
No.
Oh, I thought the anime was coming out. Or
It is, but it's not out yet.
No,
So.
just stuck waiting.
I can't
Pretty
wait
much.
for Ruby to die like, what was that fucking web show by the guy who did Adventure Time? Bravest Warriors.
I've never even heard of that show.
It was a fairly popular web show, like years ago, and then they put it behind a paywall, and it fucking died.
Why would you? Why would you? It's the problem of like, unless you're going to do something huge to improve the quality of the product.
They didn't.
Why would you?
They did the opposite.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that most people know that the longer something goes on, the less money and effort gets put into it. So unless you can like prove that what you're doing, that what you're doing is like having a significant improvement on the quality of the product, which you know is pretty hard to do. Yeah, most people are just gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay for something I literally got for free, and you've done nothing except make money off of it anyway.
You've literally made it worse. Why? Why would I give you money?
My money now, give me money. And you know, I'm all for supporting creators and all of that jazz, in theory. But yeah, as I said, if you're not going to like if you're not going to use that extra increase in cash for anything actually to the benefit of the show, then yeah, why would people pay for something they could get for free?
Yeah.
Or have gotten for free in the past.
And like, why would they wanna? Yeah, and like also there was like apparently like a bunch of delays in the show too. So like it was just a mess. So anyway, Ruby's gonna die like that, I think.
Probably will die for slightly different reasons, mostly because Warner Brothers won't really know what to do with it, and Rooster Teeth are probably just gonna get completely bought out sooner rather than later.
Probably. They don't have very much going on for them anymore.
Well, not since Red vs. Blue died.
Well, they're not. Oh, they're not live streaming their panels this year. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
It's always a great sign when they start doing that.
Are they even doing RTX anymore?
They are.
Oh,
They kind of have to because that's where they get a lot of their money from.
even though they're not going to be streaming it, or they're just hoping that people will pay all the money for the tickets.
Yes.
Man, I wonder what it was specifically that went wrong that's triggered all of this stuff for them. Because they seem to be doing really well for themselves.
Genlock.
Ah, true.
Yeah, they thought that like they could go pro, and their moderate success got to their heads, and they went all in on Genlock, expecting it to be like this billion-dollar making franchise with all these celebrities, and was going to catapult them to like the top of the like Hollywood, and it didn't.
So that's the problem, is you can't really do the big celebrity thing once you're already established. It's like, oh yeah, Ruby was a success, but it was never, but only in like the kind of only in like the internet anime circle.
Like, we know it is, but, like, regular people be like, what the fuck's a Ruby?
And, you know, because of that, and because, you know, you don't have that kind of stuff, it becomes, yeah, you can't just like sell off of like one of the best things you could do is say, like, oh, from the people who brought X comes Y, and that'll get you like, you know, a few extra sales or a few extra clicks or views or whatever. So it would have been better off doing, if they wanted to, better thing would have been to do Genlock with casts of unknowns or their usual voice actors, or people who are reasonably, you know, inexpensive.
Yeah. But
And
they
then
really want, they really thought it was going to be the next big thing.
So they were going to charge people tickets to see the panels live stream, but since nobody bought them, they just decided to can it.
Well, so if you want to see our stream, you need to buy a digital ticket.
They are desperate for cash at this point.
Now
They're
they
like,
get-
we're going to screw as much money out of the audience as possible. So it's like, if live streaming the panels is enough to draw away a sufficient number of people to make their entire convention economically non-viable, then maybe they should question why they're even holding a convention in the first place.
Right?
You think so? Especially in like especially in, you know, like a world where you know, we're still living in this pandemic and people are still nervous about traveling distances and going into, you know, rooms with lots of people and closed spaces and all.
Yeah, but it'll be the next big thing. Don't you know?
No, I never watched it,
It's the next big thing!
but it's not because it's dead.
No!
Unless Michael B. Jordan wants to front the bill to pay for
The
the
bombers
next
are back.
season. Good luck.
He's not. Even Michael B. Jordan has his limits.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like how The Rock has his limits, he couldn't get the Roman Reigns over.
Yeah, well.
Alright. Let's try this again. Third verse. Hopefully not worse.
But maybe a little bit louder.
Maybe.
Ugh. Yeah, still no idea exactly what that Bandai Takara crossover will be.
Other than we know that they have a Zoid kit for the Liger Zero specifically.
Yeah, but I don't think they do like a whole, oh, we're doing a massive collaboration together and
And
just one kit.
No, yeah. But like, I mean, it's like, we know there's at least a Zoid in there.
I'm still kind of expecting Transformers vs. Gundam.
That'd be fun.
Plus, like, Transformers has been crossing over with everyone.
I got all the
Recently.
bombers this time.
Congrats.
Ray.
I do like how they just, one
Well-
of the things that we talked about before, but I love how, like, as the game goes on and your pilot's infamy goes up, people start being like, oh, fuck, it's them!
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't start right away, but, like, once it starts, it's really good.
Oh yeah, I guess you're on the island stage, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck on the last part.
I don't remember what the last part was.
You have to chase down the supply drone.
Well, I picked the knee-high jet.
Yeah, strike Wyvern's pretty quick.
So, like, I shouldn't have a problem catching it. Famous last words.
Smash cut 2.
Come on.
Do you ever think about the fact that we're kind of past the point of like one voice actor basically being the voice of someone's entire childhood?
What do you mean?
Well, like I was thinking of like in the sort of like from like 87 to like 2001, like Rob Paulson was literally in any kind of cartoon produced in the West.
True.
And for a time from like the sort of early 2000s to about 2010, Yuri Lowenthal was in every anime dub produced of all time.
I mean, you have like Erica Lynn back in like almost everything, and she's like, and it's literally become a joke that it's not a modern Atlas game without her in it.
Mm. What I just mean is that we're kind of we're just kind of at this point where you have so many VAs that you won't have people who are like super iconic, I guess, for a generation. In the way that,
It's
like,
harder for us to really judge because we're older, so we're going through like voice actors a little bit more, so it's harder for us to really say. Erica seems to be like a go-to, because I've seen her in a lot.
We'll never have another Frank Welker.
No.
A guy who we have to double check. Wait, no, is this a real horse or is this Frank?
It's true, yeah.
I think someone asked, what would you do if you could meet like any voice actor? I think I would meet Frank Welker and I would just say, how are you real?
And then he just like, and then like the skin peels back and he's just a robot.
You know what?
It's also a significantly more popular profession lately. That's probably has to do with why.
Yeah. That's the main thing, is that it's also, but also like VAs cost a lot more if they're famous.
Like back in the day, like VAs, you either had to be really skilled, or you were like a failed TV and or movie actor. But now there are people that just want to do VAs so they can do anime dubs because they're super weebs and.
Or you were just some random. Sorry.
That's it, or because they get off on their weeb fantasies that way.
It's true. I mean, literally, Jolene's VA was a massive weeb for Jolene and then got the voice.
I mean, I think the other thing is that back in the old day, you didn't even need to have any kind of aspiration about being an actor. You could just be like, I don't know, a dentist or a magician or something. You just need to pay for the way through college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could be Chris Lotta, who just do massive amounts of fucking drugs.
It's true.
Yeah, be like, well, you could be like, well, I'll just, well, Chris Lotta was an actual actor. He was in he did have live action performances.
Yeah.
And he did stand up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Shame is probably most iconic role. Is that probably the worst part of it was part of his career in terms of his own health. Poor Chris.
Well, I saved Trash Queen.
But at least we'll always have.
Queen.
Don't call her Trash Queen. That's just mean. Besides, that's an Overwatch character. I don't know her name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, unfortunately, but I like her.
She does. She is Girl Roadhog. I mean, a friend of mine was telling me about the trailer and was like, "Oh yeah, they showed her hooking people down the well express," and I was like, "Hate."
Up, here comes the supply chase.
Have fun. Gotta go fast.
Good thing I brought a fast jet.
If the supply ships make it to the arsenal, Bird, they'll be able to resupply it.
Oh. Meanwhile, I'm fighting Rat King to level up Donatello.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, there's an achievement also for beating the Rat King as Splinter.
Oh, I already got that.
Okay, cool.
As if I'd let my... Man, Splinter feels really bad in this game, though.
It's because he's a slow, heavy character.
Yeah, but he even feels like worse than Raph, who's meant to be the slowest. I mean, Casey and Leonardo feel busted. April's actually also really good.
Oh yeah, April's a lot of fun.
Donnie's fine. I kind of expect Donnie to be better at stuff than he ever is. Like I always thought, oh, he'll be better for like anti-air on the skateboard levels, but he's not.
By the way, I got them all pretty quickly because I had equipped the railgun.
Ah, good. Because they do like flying in clouds to not get shot.
It's like, dodge this, you filthy casual. Now all I have to do is not crash and everything's done.
Just don't confuse the sea with the sky.
Ooh!
Huh, I didn't know the sky had waves. Oh, I didn't know the sky had fish.
I mean, you know what's fucked up? I heard a story about a guy who was like, who was like swimming around, and there was a forest fire, and he got scooped up into like the fucking buckets from one of the helicopters, and dropped and killed into the fire.
Oops.
So there's just like this guy in the ashes of a bush in full scuba gear, dead. Like, I guess the only thing you can say is, hey, I guess he died doing what he loved.
Falling onto burning forests?
Well, yeah, you see, he was a firefighter, a skydiver, and also was really into marine biology.
Well,
No, those 3 parts I added were obviously bullshit.
Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the
unless...
Not
Unless.
to mention saving the refugees. However,
I mean, who knows? Maybe he was, and I just didn't know.
Celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress. Can't say I blame him.
Man, every time I see like one of those, a friend of mine picked up one of the sort of Until Dawn, not quite sequels, you know, all part of that weird anthology thing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know they did Man of Medan," and I was like, "Aren't there like 8 of those games now?" Turns out, yeah, there's quite a few, but he mostly picked up this one because it's got Ted Raimi in it. You know, who doesn't like Ted Raimi? Apart from Sam Raimi, obviously.
Well, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the mission.
Sam doesn't.
I don't even remember what the next
Right.
mission is, so
We're
I don't
free!
want. That's why I don't want to attempt it. And also, we're about an hour in, if not an hour. So.
Next mission. Wait, 15. It might be Final Door with Mihai.
Oh yeah, and then it's Final Duel with Mihai, and then it's the drone, and then the tunnel, right?
No, it's Final Door with Mihai. Then the attack on the lighthouse, which is the Arsenal Bird boss fight, and then the final mission is the duel against the 2 drones, followed by the trench run through the tunnel.
Okay, so there's 3 missions left.
Sorry to spoil the game. Yeah.
Okay, and
So
then
probably,
and then
I'd
the
say
DLC.
probably get those 3 in. Yeah, probably get those 3 in one session, and well, you'll find out in the near future. Bye.
Bye.